review of the books that I've read this year. It's not all the books that I've read this year. I've had a lot of free time in the beginning of the year, and I've read quite a number of books. But yeah, these will be kind of the most recent books that I've read, or the most interesting. So just sit back, the woman on his doorstep was anything but quiet, and when she stopped talking long enough to close her mouth, all he wanted to do was kiss her, and more. Did he think she was mad? Eloise Bridgerton couldn't marry a man she had never met, but then she started thinking and wondering. And before she knew it, she was in a hired carriage in the middle of the night, on her way to meet the man she hoped might be her perfect match. Except he wasn't. Her husband, her perfect husband, wouldn't be so moody and ill-mannered, and while Philip was certainly handsome, he was a large brute of a man, rough and rugged and totally unlike the London gentleman vying for her hand. But when he smiled and when he kissed her, the rest of the world simply fell away, and she couldn't help but wonder, could this imperfect man be perfect for her? But yeah, I thought this was a good book, but not as good as the other Bridgerton books I've read. I didn't really like Sir Philip. Honestly, he was a bit too moody and bossy for my taste. But still a good read. So if you're looking for like a quick romance read, maybe pick a different Bridgerton book. I don't know. But it was good. Okay. Next. The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. Now this is the second book of the Housemaid's series. It's like a murder mystery thriller kind of book. I won't read the back of this one or any sequels because I just feel like they might spoil it for someone who hasn't read it or read the first one yet. But yeah, basically it's the same character from the first book, and her name is Millie. This perfect home has one rule: don't look behind the closed doors. But yeah, she basically always finds herself in these situations where she's like protecting others or protecting women. And it's like a good thriller murder mystery book. I love these. I've always loved thriller and fantasy, but I can like really binge read. Like I'll blow through a thriller just because I have to know what's happening. But yeah, I thought this one was really good. I have the third one now that I'm gonna start reading, but I haven't started yet because it's a book I'm reading with my mom for our book club, even though she takes a lot longer to get through the books, so I'm kind of waiting for her to get ahead, and then I'll start reading the third one. Third and final, I think. But yeah, I would read this highly. I thought this was a really good murder mystery book. It has its twists and turns. Okay, next. Sloot. I kind of talked about this one a little bit in another video, but it was so good. Sloot. Let's read the back. Okay. Set in colonial New England, Sloot is a tale of magic and mystery, of triumph and terror from acclaimed author and artist Brom. An ancient spirit awakens in a dark wood. The wild folk call him father, slayer, protector. The colonists call him Yes. There are books with magic, and then there's people who can like perform magic. There's people who like take care of the books, and then there's people who can actually perform the magic of the books. And so there's two sisters, and they have their own stories, and like one is off in Antarctica, and the other one like has never gone away from home. But their adventures collide, and it's just such a good book. I really like the magic in this book. Yeah, I just thought it was super interesting and a great fantasy. I really hope there is a sequel. For generations, the Galatay family has guarded a collection of ancient and rare books. Books that let a person walk through the wall or manipulate the elements. Books of magic that half-sisters Joanna and Esther have raised to revere and protect. All magic comes with a price, though, and for years the sisters have been separated. Esther has fled to a remote base in Antarctica to escape the fate that killed her mother, and Joanna has isolated herself and their family home in Vermont, devoting her life to the study of these cherished volumes. But after their father dies suddenly while reading a book Joanna has never seen before, the sisters must reunite to preserve their family legacy. In the process, they'll uncover a world of magic far bigger and more dangerous than they ever imagined, and all the secrets that their parents kept hidden, secrets that span centuries, continents, and even other libraries. In the great tradition of Ninth House, the magicians, and practical magic, this is a suspenseful and richly atmospheric novel that draws a reader into a vast world filled with mystery and magic, romance and intrigue, and marks the debut of an extraordinary new voice in speculative fiction. Now, this is up there with Sloot. This might be the best book I've read so far this year. But this book and Sloot are pretty close, I'd say. Ink blood scribe. Okay. I read a lot of books this year, but